So this is awkward. Here. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel. It has been about 2 years since I've last posted. Okay, that's not true. I did post once last year. I had decided to give myself highlights, and so I filmed that. And I was like, yep, that's it. I'm starting YouTube again. I did not. I did not start filming again. That was the first time that I filmed in this room, which is my Stark studio at my house. So since I've last really been on YouTube, we did buy a house. I bought a house in my hometown, which is one of the weirdest things I've ever done. I left my hometown, I left here when I was 18, 19 years old. The details are fuzzy, but didn't really plan on coming back. But the more that I traveled the world, lived in a few different cities, the more I realized that everywhere in the world is kind of the same, but different. But the things that my husband and I were looking for in like a place to settle, my little hometown kind of has all of it. So we did move back to the area 5 years ago, but then we ended up buying this house right before the pandemic. Super lucky. I honestly think my husband and I have such a horseshoe up our butt. Sometimes, like, it's just, we are really lucky with timing once in a while. If my eyes are all over the place, it's because I'm using my phone, because my proper camera that I use for YouTube, all 3 batteries are dead. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit down, instead of doing like a YouTube live or something like that, not YouTube live, but like an Instagram live, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna film a YouTube and just do it, you know, just go for it. Just bang one out there. So yeah, so the past almost 2 years, I've been living in this house. It's a cute little neighborhood. It's a cute house. It's the right size for us. It's the right kind of layout for my family. You know, and then the pandemic hit. We actually went on our last trip to Kuwait to go see in-laws, and heard about Corona while we were there. And we actually had to travel through London to get back home, and we were wearing our masks, and it was the first time we had to wear masks, and not many people were, and it was just a very strange, that was in January 2020, so it was a very strange time. And then, you know, the global panini, and so I'm just so blessed and feel so lucky that we got to spend our quarantine time and the whole pandemic time in this house, and not in our old apartment. So I don't know, like, as people who we homeschool, we already were homeschooling, we already work from home, we already spend a lot of time together, and then just adding, you know, quarantine on top. Of course, obviously it was really difficult for everyone, and it's still difficult for everyone. But I can't get over how blessed I am that we bought this. First of all, that I'm blessed enough to be able to buy a house, and that we just bought it at the right time. Like, literally 2 of the houses, like 2 of my neighbors have sold their houses since the pandemic, and they cost 2 to 3 times the amount of what we paid. Someone just came into my house. 1 second. Okay, that was fine. So just really lucky that we were able to afford a house, because I'm assuming it's probably the same where you live, but just like the housing market has gone absolutely crazy. They say that it's going to like simmer down and become normal again, but we were just really lucky because there's no way we would have been able to afford the new like Corona rates of housing, and it's always been just like a really big goal of mine to buy a house. So I was just happy to do that. So that's been new, you know, with us, with Stark, with the Stark family. It's not my last name, by the way. What did I just do to my eyeliner? Whoa. Okay. Let's do the same thing on this side then, shall we? The benefits of oily skin. So what else is new? Well, Stark, like the rest of the world, had a couple of hard years. For me, it started off with, so like if you used to watch my videos, I was pretty open talking about how my mom was diagnosed with lung cancer, and then she did pass away on Christmas Day 2018. So then, you know, I only filmed a couple of videos after that, and then I just took a really long break. Obviously I was grieving, going through a really hard time, going through obviously a lot of just like personal stuff. My business really suffered because I was suffering. But then in the past, like since 2021, I've made a few changes that I think are going really, really well. Like personal changes where I kind of changed a lot of lifestyle things. So yeah, just like after my mom died, I started self-medicating more. Plus I was on antidepressants. So I was smoking weed, which it's just not part of my lifestyle, but like it became part of my lifestyle. I guess just with like the legalization here too, it was just kind of like, oh, it's just so easy now. And like just the cannabis culture and stuff was just like kind of intriguing and alluring for a little bit for me. And just like craft beer and stuff, but it all just became too much. It was like, it was fine until it wasn't fine, you know? So whenever the pandemic hit, I was like, okay, like I need to stop drinking, I need to stop smoking weed, I even stopped coffee. I drink black tea now. Just all of the bad habits, because I was like, this is gonna spiral, because you know, I was still grieving, business wasn't doing well, did not feel motivated to do anything, had a new house, which made me happy, but it was also kind of like a big distraction, because it was like, should I work, or should I repaint my kitchen cupboards, you know, or like, should I sand down this large piece of furniture and like refinish it, or like, should I paint the stairwell, or like, you know, and I mean, these aren't like it's not a waste of time, but also I can't just be like neglecting my business. So I been working much harder in 2021 to pick things up again. I'm no longer using the shipping warehouse that I used to use, and so I'm doing all my own shipping, which has been interesting. So like it makes the shipping a little more expensive, a little bit slower, but I am personally now creating every single package, which means I'm able to give, you know, samples. I write the little handwritten thank you notes. I'm really, again, starting to recognize my customers who do purchase from me, you know, repeatedly, but who I don't necessarily have any contact with on Instagram, or they just tend not to email me. Just, you know, people who have been silently my fans, but who have been purchasing from me for years, I'm starting to like recognize their names again, because I wasn't one to like go and like look at every order and like memorize names, see how, like, I just didn't analyze those metrics for whatever reason. Like I would look at sales, but not necessarily, and like how many repeat customers I had, but I wouldn't actually know their names. Which is so weird, because it's like, if I had a physical store, I would recognize people's faces and names and their dog and their kid and, you know, all that stuff. So it's weird with online business how easily you can just like start not recognizing people, you know? Sorry for this background. I don't know what I'm gonna do going forward for my backgrounds. Like obviously I'm in my studio, so you're seeing like equipment and bottles and then like a door, but this is where the light is, so this is where I sit. And look, I have giant hands. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that like my hair care line is close, like Stark's hair division. is getting pretty close to being like ready to at least soft launch. So be on my newsletter if you are interested in that, because that's gonna be the first and only place that I'm gonna announce it initially, just because I am nervous about like scaling up on batches for the hair stuff. So I am doing solid shampoos and conditioners kind of thing. I talk about like this, I've talked about the specifics on Instagram a little bit lately, which I've saved in a highlight if you're interested. I think it's just called hair, ! Where I talk about the 3 bars that I know for sure I'm going to be launching imminently, and the 1 hair styling product that I will be launching imminently. But there is 1 bar that I'm going to be launching first, and I'm just calling it the yellow bar for now. I don't know if I'm gonna like continue naming it like the way that I name my Stark things. But that's been really, really exciting because I've been wanting a hair line for the longest time, like since my curly girl obsession days. But yeah, and you guys, I mean, like those are my most popular videos, are the videos I did about curly girl, and then like ditching curly girl and being like wavy girl, and I'm sort of like curly girl adjacent. I don't really know. So my line, does it strictly follow curly girl? I don't know, because I can't remember what I do use. Two different polyquats, so maybe not. I don't remember how curly girl feels about polyquats, but I think that everything I'm using is like super high quality, really great ingredients. It's concentrates a lot on scalp health and scalp care, as well as hair strength. It's really for like fine wavy hair like mine. So if you've watched my videos before, and you've recognized like my ancient 2-year-old videos, you recognize your hair type in mine, then it's for us ladies and gentlemen. So a lot about, you know, strengthening the hair shaft while also maintaining flexibility, adding a bit of gloss, keeping your routines quite minimal. This isn't about, you know, layering on 7 different products. It's also for people who enjoy washing their hair. I like a product where I can wash my hair every day if I feel like it, or every second day is really more my routine. But what I hated about curly girl, or one of the things, is how infrequent we are encouraged to wash our hair, which I don't agree with. I don't infrequently wash my body or my face, and I don't want to infrequently wash my scalp. Hair, if I could actually just like, you know, completely separate it from my scalp sometimes, I think that would be great, because I know drying the hair and styling it, like that can kind of be a pain in the butt, but you're like, the scalp needs to be cleansed and cared for. And so I developed a line where you can wash your hair more frequently, safely, if that's what you like doing. That's definitely, especially in the summer, I like keeping my hair quite clean. If you're sweating, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So that's happening. I'm also launching a lip mask that my testers have said is their favorite lip product. It's my first non-vegan product, except I double checked. So I have one customer, I'm not going to name who they are, but they're kind of my only celebrity customer. And they're a celebrity in the vegan world. Not so much a celebrity as like an authority, let's put it that way, like an authority in the vegan world. And influencer as well. And I asked them, like, what do you think, as a strict vegan who speaks for other vegans, what do you think about these ingredients that I want to use that are not considered vegan? They're like, that's totally fine. So my lip mask does contain beeswax. It contains ethically sourced lanolin. The beeswax is also, it's local and ethically sourced from like sort of a small apiary. Beekeepers who actually care for their bees. Same with the lanolin, but not from bees, but sheep. And, you know, the sheep are not killed in the harvesting of this lanolin. It's really just during their spring shear, which they need to get for their own comfort. And then there's also hyaluronic acid, which some vegans consider vegan and some vegans do not consider vegan, but mine is sourced veganly. It's like my most like controversial ingredients in the vegan sphere. But I am also thinking about doing just like regular lip balms that will be vegan, but the lip mask is not vegan. I'll tell you why. It's because I want to create my dupe of the Bite Agave lip masks before they reformulated, because I loved those lip masks. I loved them. I still have some. I like just try to stretch it out. I savor them. I never tried the reformulated version, but people have said that they suck, so I never bothered. But yeah, so that's also coming out, as well as there's sort of like a big collaboration coming up, but I can't say too much about it yet. And yeah, that's kind of like, that's what I've been sort of up to. It's the new house. Oh my God, the new puppy. I got a puppy like the first week of lockdown. I did a lot of like super stereotypical lockdown stuff. I'll have to do a video about that. It's like all of the quarantine stereotypes that I partook in. There was a lot of those. So I will talk about, that in another video if you guys are interested. But anyways, I think I'm just going to throw this up onto my computer, do some light editing, put it on YouTube, and yeah, just to say, welcome back me, hopefully. I do like YouTube and the different community and the different feel that there is here versus Instagram. So hold me to it. I do want to start posting weekly, or maybe like twice a month if I can't quite keep up with weekly. But yeah, so thank you so much if you watched my entire video. Please subscribe if you aren't already, for more videos about skincare and hair and entrepreneurship and my life and puppies and bangs and all kinds of things. Okay, bye!